Hi y'all. Okay, so we have made it to day 3 of the 5-day holiday reset challenge, and I want to just touch real quick on the other things we talked about. This video should be pretty short. So we have created an intention for the holidays, and again, this is going to be very individual based on where you are in your journey, what your holidays look like, how chaotic it's going to be, but sitting down or standing, I like to do a lot of work right here, and thinking ahead to your holiday season is going to put you a giant leap ahead of just the holidays hit and then you go through your motions. I wanted to make a comment about one of my things I'm not sure I said yesterday. Go back to what I was talking about first. First, we have an intent for the season. We have an intent for, I would suggest even how you want to finish the year. Are you going to dial everything back and just hit the gym whenever? Or are you going to be more like, I'm not bragging, but more like me, where I really don't want to dial in the rest of the year and I want to make sure I'm getting to the gym and following the program that my friend and I have been following. And I personally want to finish the year strong, but you get to decide how you're going to do this. And then think about having a high protein breakfast every day. Do not leave it up to happenstance, busyness. I have eaten in the car way too much recently, but at least I had something prepared. So I made the high protein overnight oats. If you do not like your oats cold, you can heat those up. Just make sure you're using a microwavable safe container. But you can do lots of things. It doesn't have to just be oats. You can cook up a batch of quinoa. Again, I'm also looking for more carb-friendly breakfast to start my day with over fats, but the crossovers are also great. So having an intent for how we're going to go through the holiday season and finish the year, and then thinking ahead for having high protein breakfast ready to go. And also having some things that might not be perfectly on plan for an emergency, things like that are not on plan at all, but like the Core Power, they made by Fairlife high protein, like not like a shake, but a milk. Those I'm sure have horrible ingredients, but if I would much rather have that over the donut that my friend's husband had this last Sunday. And then yesterday, what did we talk about yesterday? Day 2, holiday cravings, thinking ahead to what you're going to want during the holiday season, like crackers and chips, which to me a little bit harder to find and stay on plan. But thinking ahead to the things that you will want to have during the holiday season, and are you going to make a substitute, or are you going to just cheat with that? I shared some of the ideas yesterday, and then I did honestly make these last night when I finished the video. This is the easiest candy recipe ever. There's only a blog post because people kept asking me exactly how I made it, so I just made the blog post because of them. But you just need whatever nuts you want, whatever like berries you want. I typically will use goji berries. That's my go-to. I use the Max Mellows. And then whatever chocolate you want. So for my husband, I buy the Lily's white chocolate bar, and I make his with white chocolate, and then I make mine with dark chocolate. You need to keep them in the fridge or the freezer. They've been sitting here for a minute, and I remember the ones I got out of the freezer are shiny. So I got to sneeze. Okay, now back to what I was going to read off the paper. That we make better choices when we don't have to think. If you don't have to think about something, you're going to make a better choice because you've already sort of thought ahead about it. But by having something like this in the freezer, when the Halloween candy, I feel like it comes out so early in like September, maybe even the summer, that's everywhere. These are going to take the place of me wanting to eat that. I think that maybe even some coconut might be good in here, but my husband doesn't like coconut. Anyway, having something that I know that I like, that is key. Don't make, if you think goji berries are disgusting, don't make this with goji berries. Find something else, or just leave out the berry altogether. You don't have to add that to it. Christmas crack. All you need, well, I'll just say it real quick, but Christmas crack is one of my favorite recipes, and you can freeze it. The only problem with freezing it is sometimes the chocolate will kind of change a little bit with that, the freezer. When you put chocolate in the freezer, sometimes it will change, not the texture, but more of like the color. The Christmas crack is one of my go-tos because I'm so sensitive with the sweetener. That brown swerve is the sweetener in that, and it is so good. I'm going to talk about sweets. That was yesterday. And then the mindset tip that I said yesterday, that it's not about restricting, it's about replacing. I want you to take, if you take anything, that's one of the things I would love for you to take away from this. It's not about restricting, it's about replacing. I'm replacing the peanut butter Halloween little guy with these. Or I've got my peanut butter bars I can make. But having something that is going to satisfy what I'm wanting to eat with something that I know that is actually going to be good for me or not give me that sugar crash is key here. So day 3, I want you to think about your plate. When we go to a holiday, like typically I've only lived in Texas for most of my life. I lived in Wisconsin twice. And the food variations and even the words we use for things are very different. It was eye-opening for me. Anyway, kind of silly, but when you have different casseroles and all of those different things that are surrounding you, think about first, where's your protein? And then if there's a salad, I would eat the salad. And then if you want to have a couple of treats, then not treats, but like the corn casserole or something like that. My brain is going blank on the holiday foods for some reason. But think ahead. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be perfect. Again, you get to decide if you want to be absolutely perfectly on plan or if you want to indulge in a few things. And if you do want to indulge in a few of your family favorites, then I would say get a very small amount. You don't need a whole cup of corn casserole. You don't need a whole cup of green bean casserole. I don't even eat that. That's not something that I enjoy. You don't need a whole cup of sweet potato casserole. And there's lots of alternatives you can make to take the place of the off-plan one. So I have an event coming up Friday and Saturday. It's a retreat that I'm going to, and the first night is Mexican. I've already pulled out my Mexican quinoa, and that's what I'm going to take. And if there's nothing else on plan, then I at least have that. Saturday is going to be Italian. We already have all of that planned. There's going to be plenty of off-plan stuff, but I will have, mine isn't going to be perfectly on plan because I think we're going to be using the Costco meatballs, which I think might have 1 gram too much of a carb. But I've already thought it through. I'm already prepared. I can take these and keep in the fridge for my sweet treat. So I'm not even tempted to have whatever else might be there. And again, I am someone who used to get the big plate of dessert, and I didn't care how much of the meal I actually got. That truly was who I was. So think ahead to anything you've got coming up and plan ahead. If you wait till you get there, I typically, if I wait till I get there and then I feel rushed, I will pick something that is completely nowhere near on plan because I feel rushed and I need to make my order or make my plate or whatever. But by thinking ahead, you're preparing yourself for, even if you have something off plan, it's not like you're going and eating a whole plate of nothing but off plan food. And I'll go back one more time and talk about one of the ladies' meetings I went to recently was breakfast. I didn't take anything because my Walmart order was delayed by 2 or 3 hours, and I needed what was coming in that order to make something for that meeting. And so then I was just whatever they had is what I was supposed to eat. So if you know there's going to be lots of desserts and you're going to be tempted, make a plan. I will be taking, I will make some more of my favorite things to keep in the freezer this holiday season. I enjoy watching like Christmas movies. I love Christmas movies, and having some things like these prepped in the freezer, so when I sit down, I'm not tempted to eat all of the other things that might be in my house. I think that is it. The simple guide is a 3-step method: protein, veg, carb, fats, whatever you want. If I'm eating out, or it's a holiday meal, I don't care about. I'm not counting my carbs. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm not going to sit here and look. If there's some corn casserole and I want a few bites, I'll get that. If there's, my stepmother makes delicious candied sweet potatoes, whatever, I'll get a couple of bites. But I'm not going to be the old Jennifer and fill up a plate full of all these I'm not kidding. I really was this bad. Just full of all of the desserts. I will have my little bit here, my little bit there, but everything else will be on plan. I think that's it for day 3. I would love for you to share, because we all have different families, we all have different situations, we all have different lives, and I would just love to hear what you have that might be coming up that you are going to plan ahead and get prepared for in your own way. It could be this. It could just be bringing in a couple of chocolates for you so you aren't tempted to eat the other things that might be there. I'm just going to say bye now. If you have any questions or thoughts, one more thing, I have updated the blog post that has all this on it, where I'm adding the videos every day because, again, Facebook deletes them. And there is a little printable for Monday and Tuesday for day 1 and day 2. They'll put a little printable in there if you want them. They're nothing special, but they do go along with the days that we've discussed here. And that is it. I hope you're having a great week. Bye.